Okay, we're on page 22 of the 2020-2021 Preparing for the ACT Test booklet. And this one is called The Real McCoy. This is an English lesson, which is grammar. And we're looking at the first one is It's Me. And It's Me is mantra 8. So if you're trying to get extra credit, you'll write that down. Number 61 is It's Me, mantra 8. And we're going to where it says 61 and it's underlined. The saying has been used for generations to declare it's the genuine article. Okay, so the rule for It's Me is that we use an apostrophe if it's a contraction for it is, and if it's possessive, we do not use a contraction. So we're not going to need this apostrophe after the S because that would make it possessive, plural possessive. But it's it is generations to declare it wouldn't be it is. It's the genuine article. Okay. Let's try out C. The saying has been used for generations to declare that something is the genuine article. Okay, so that's going to be the best one here, is 61C. Number 62. This is a comma one, and commas are skill 5. Mantra 5, relaxing commas. Okay, so let's look at number 62. We'll start right here after the A. While its origin is disputed, many people believe the expression was inspired by the invention of a Canadian American engineer named Elijah McCoy. We would not pause after named. Let's try G. So they're talking about this phrase, the real McCoy. If something's the genuine article, they call it the real McCoy. So it's talking about where that phrase came from. While its origin is disputed, many people believe the expression was inspired by the invention of a Canadian American engineer named no pauses there. A Canadian American engineer named Elijah McCoy. That one's much better. No pauses at all. We wouldn't pause after named, and we wouldn't pause after American. So number 62 would be G. Okay, numbers. If you have any questions, please stop me. So Elijah McCoy, as a railroad worker who, as a teenager, had formerly studied mechanical engineering, revolutionized railroad and factory operations, affecting both incredibly with his dozens of patented projects. Okay, this one is shortest correct answer. What do you think the answer will be? Shortest correct answer is mantra 10. Let's try out D. Elijah McCoy, a railroad worker who, as a teenager, had formerly studied mechanical engineering, revolutionized railroad and factory operations with his dozens of patented products. The answer there is shortest correct answer, D. Okay, now we're on page 23, number 64. Right here at the top.
What was the answer to that last one?
Shortest correct answer. Okay. Number 64. While working for the Michigan Central Railroad in the 1870s, then McCoy was assigned to work on the wheel bearings and axles of the train. Then sounds a little funny to me. Let's try G. While working for the Michigan Central Railroad in the 1870s, with that company, McCoy was assigned. Mm, that doesn't sound right either. I think we're going to be going with mantra 10, shortest correct answer here as well. Let's try H. While working for the Michigan Central Railroad in the 1870s, during this time, McCoy, or just delete the underlined word. While working for the Michigan Central Railroad in the 1870s, McCoy was assigned. That's mantra 10, shortest correct answer, and the answer is J. Okay, number 65. In the preceding sentence, the writer is considering revising the phrase assigned to work on to and changing it to responsible for oiling. Giving the revised phrase as accurate, should the writer make this revision? So the first thing we want to do is say yes or no. Okay, so we need to take it up a little bit. McCoy was assigned to work on the wheel bearings and axles of the trains. Trains needed to come to a halt after only a few miles of travel. So, should we change that to responsible for oiling? Let's try it. McCoy was responsible for oiling the wheel bearings and axles of the train. So, does that sound better? Responsible for oiling, does that sound better than assigned to work on? Is it more specific? Are we awake? It is more specific. So the answer is going to be yes. Now we've got to decide if it's A or B. Should we change it to responsible for oiling? Yes. Is it yes because the revision specifically describes the procedure McCoy had to follow as he maintained the wheel bearings and axles? Or yes because the revision provides a clearer connection between McCoy's main task as a railroad worker and his first patented device? So if we look at the sentence that starts with trains needed to come to a halt after only a few miles of travel so that moving parts could be oiled by hand, a tedious, time consuming process. McCoy invented a device that released oil. So the answer there is going to be B. It shows how his patent was important. Number 66. Okay, so our sentence here starts with McCoy. McCoy invented a device that released oil while the train was in motion, substantially reducing the number of maintenance stops, or lessening the frequency of number of maintenance stops. So frequency and number, that's redundant. This is mantra 10 for number 66, mantra 10. And I think, let's see. The number 65 would be flow, which is 13. Okay, 66 is 10, so shortest correct answer, not redundant. So if we look at this, reducing the number, lessening the frequency of the number, so G would be redundant. Subtracting the amount or lowering the amount. Remember, I said if it's good, if the original answer is good, they don't want you to change it. So 66 is F, no change, and it's mantra 10, shortest correct answer. Number 67. Okay. Uh, Reducing the number of maintenance stops had the effect of making travel. This is another number 10. We're wanting the most brief, the most non redundant, shortest correct answer. That doesn't mean it's going to be D though, because we still have to have it be correct. And so since we have reducing, we can't have it be made because reducing and made are not parallel. So we have to have it be and making, reducing and making. So the answer to 67 is B. Number 68. Factories in the late 1800s, for example, increasingly relied on steam. Um, we're on 68. Okay, so these are the transition words. Transition words are skill 4. Remember, transition words are conjunctions and they have meaning. So we've got to decide is for example or subsequently, regardless or however, which one is the best. Factories in the late 1800s, for example, increasingly relied on steam. That sounds the best. It's 68. The others, um, G is a cause and effect word. Uh, Regardless is a um, cause and effect word, and however is a cause and effect word. So, yeah, for example, number 69. As with trains, therefore, many of the machine parts had to be oiled manually. That doesn't sound right to me.
What was the last one again?
It's no change. So therefore is a cause and effect word. Let's see. This one is also skill 4 transition words. Number 69 is skill 4 transition words. And we've got to decide which one sounds the best. As with trains, the problem being many of the machines, as with trains, in that many of the machines, or just as with trains, many of the machines. We're going to delete. It's also the shortest correct answer. Okay, number 70. McCoy, recognizing the similarities between train wheels and factory machines. That sounds pretty right to me. That one is like a positive. McCoy would recognize. Um, we can't have that because we're using the ing on our verbs, so we need to keep it parallel. McCoy, a recognition of, same thing. We need to keep it parallel. McCoy recognized. So the best one is going to be F, no change. We want to keep that ing just like we have in other verbs in the sentences. Okay, turn the page to page 24. Let's see. We need these. Let's start up here. These innovations allowed factories to give machines a certain timelessness. Or these machines, see, it says which choice offers the clearest and most precise information about how the operation of the factory machines changed as a result of McCoy's inventions. So this is a goal question, which is skill 14. So we need to meet the goal. So we need the clearest, most precise information. So is give them a certain timelessness, or rethink operations, or run machines continuously, or use machines differently. Which one of those answers is the most clear, the most precise? All of those are vague except for one answer. Anybody have what the answer is? Okay, I'm going to let you guys answer that one then. It's the one that's the most clear, the most precise. Number 72. The writer is considering deleting the following phrase from the preceding sentence, ending the sentence with a period, and as a result, profits. Should the writer make the deletion? So this is a flow question, and flow is mantra 13, so 72 is mantra 13, flow. Did anyone want to answer 71 before we move on? All right. I'm not going to give answers if we can't participate. All right. The writer is considering deleting the phrase from the preceding sentence, ending the sentence with a period, and as a result, profits. Should the writer make the deletion? Um, and so first we have to just decide, should the writer take it away, yes or no. So taking away and as a result profits. So factories to give machines a certain timelessness, increasing factory productivity, period. Um, so, yes, because the phrase shifts the focus of the paragraph. Yes, because the phrase suggests the factory owners were more interested. No, because the phrase is relevant to the paragraph's discussion on the positive effects that the use of McCoy's invention has had in factories, or no, because the phrase makes clear that the successful use of McCoy's invention in factories led to higher wages for factory workers. So the answer is no, we should not delete it. Is it H or J? So if we took it away, we would be taking away that his invention helped the profits of the company. Um, so actually, it's H, but I do appreciate you answering because the profits are a positive effect. So the answer to 72 is H. Number 73. Um, this one's going to be a shortest correct answer, which is mantra 10. Okay, so supposedly, factory owners who wanted to a product proven to do it would ask if the purchase was the real McCoy. Um, lend itself to superiority, give off the best result, or work well. So, do it is a little too vague. What's the next best, shortest correct answer? If if A is not right, what's our shortest correct answer?
D.
That's D. Yep. Okay. Number 75. Question 75 asks about the preceding passage as a whole. The writer is considering adding the following true statement to the essay. The imitators expected that the price of their products, often significantly lower than the price of the McCoy's devices, would attract buyers, but price didn't seem to matter the most. If the writer were to add the statement, it would most logically be placed, um, And that would be, I always have trouble finding, right here after D. So the answer to 75 is D. Does anybody want to answer number 71 for us? The most specific answer for number 71?
There's something in chat. They're saying it's C.
It is C, yep. Run continuously means not to stop. Thank you for telling me that. Okay, so you will put your answers that you just wrote in your book, you'll put them right here in number 3, this one. And then you'll take a picture and put that in bonus, and then say what you learned today in exit ticket. So that last one was flow, and flow is mantra 13. Once you are finished with your